Good evening. You live on Metro.
Hi, Griselda. How are you doing?
Great, thank you. Humbly apologize for all that heartache,
Not a
but we're
problem at all.
glad that we're finally able to have this conversation. Now, why is it so important for women to take charge of their own finances, especially given the current circumstances where women are breadwinners, women take care of, they actually build households?
Yes, no, it's very true. We all, I suppose, when we're little, we grow up with this vision of this knight in shining armor that's going to come and rescue us. But
Yeah.
in real life, it doesn't work that way. We are the only people that can be in charge of our own futures. So why would we leave something that is so important, like our finances, in the hands of other people?
Yeah.
And most probably, it's your partner or your spouse, and you're just leaving it to someone else to sort out. But it is your future, so you should take joint responsibility if you're in a relationship, or just take charge of your own future. If you're single and you're the breadwinner, you need to take that responsibility and look after your future, because you're the only one that can do it for yourself. No one is going to do it for you and look after you.
Now, tonight our topic is women in finances, and you and I know that women can get it twisted sometimes, that it's either perhaps you're going to have more clothing than food, or more debt than you have
Yes.
investment. What are some of the basic financial considerations that women should prioritize?
It's unfortunate that for most of us, we just don't have sufficient money to meet all our needs. And that's why it's so difficult sometimes for us to take the decision on what is now so important. So we need to prioritize. But if you're the breadwinner in the household, it's very important that you need to make sure that the income that you bring in is protected. So you need to look at things that is going to cover if anything happens to you and you cannot bring in that income. So from a prioritization point of view, it's always important that you look at that, because who's going to look after your children and the people that are dependent on you if you are no longer able to bring in that income? So it's things like life cover and disability cover. And then also, you need to look after yourself. And what happens if you retire one day? Would you still be able to look after your people, or would you then have to depend on your children to look after you? So it's very important to look after those things that is important for you in terms of your income and for you living a good life eventually. And then it's always very good to have some money set aside for an emergency fund and to save specifically for your children's education.
And amongst the many challenges are people just wanting to get rich quick, that you'd have some of these dodgy investments and Ponzi schemes and a lot of fraud that is happening out there and mostly affecting women. How can women protect themselves against this?
Usually the golden rule is, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. And unfortunately, people just see, but this is what I'm going to get out of this. This is the high return I'm going to get. And that's where the problem lies. So you need to be very vigilant. You need to be very careful. And you need to make sure that you work with a reputable financial services provider. If anyone comes to you with a proposition, make sure, and there are places where you can actually go to make sure that it is reputable and it is registered service providers. And you can contact someone like the Financial Services Board website to just go and see. There's a list of everyone that's registered, and then you know that you are working with someone that is reputable and someone that's not just going to try and scheme you out of your money.
And once again, going back to what this campaign is about, and this is encouraging people to just start saving. We know that the cost of living is rising in ways that many are not coping, especially single parents and
Yes.
single parents that are female. You look at education these days. You want the best education, you have to pop out some money. How can women find spare cash in all this? Food is expensive. Fortunately, petrol has just gone down, but we don't know for how long.
The first thing that everyone needs to do is to draw up a budget. I know it sounds silly because everyone says that, but it really is the first and most important thing that you need to do. You need to understand exactly what it is that your income is all about and what it is that your expenses entail. What are you spending that money on? You need to understand that so that you can manage it. And you need to work on your spending habits. I mean, when we go to the shop to go and buy things, we need to buy just the things that we set out to go and do. Make a little list, because if you don't go with your list, you're just going to buy things that you see. And you must always ask, when you take something off the shelf, always ask, do I really need this? Or is this just a luxury dressed up as a necessity? It's very important to look at that. And then also, there are small little changes that you can do. pack your own lunch to work. You can save by not going to buy at the canteen every day. Look at your cell phone bills and make use of the free minutes that you have on the package that you have. And also make sure that you've got prepaid cards for your children. Don't buy them phones that's on contract. And look at just your normal eating habits. Don't go and eat out every weekend, maybe every second or third weekend, and make a whole experience when you then actually do dine at home, but you can do it a lot cheaper. So there are little things that you can do and put that extra money then away and start saving, because every little rand that you can actually save is going to help you at the end of the day.
Now, I know that we have great female listeners who listen to this message and they want to put it to action. Where can they get hold of more resources and perhaps post their stories as well to get a share of the 200,000?
Yes, no, definitely. There's a website called www.startsomethingday.co.za. They can go there and they go and post their story and specifically what it is that they want to start. I mean, we've had some wonderful stories coming through and we have some wonderful winners as well. So it's small little things that you just want to do, that you want to start with. So go to the website. There's also a phone number that you can phone on 011 778 6311 and give your story through, and you can stand a chance to win your share of that 200,000 rand.
Renee, thank you very much. We are enlightened and we're going to post those stories in order for us to really start something this year.
It's a pleasure. Thanks, Griselda.
Thank you very much. That's Renee Roo, who is head of Sanlam Liquid.